Okay. So hello everyone. I am Harsh Kumar Khatri. I am an MSP from India, and today I will be covering some parts of OpenCV. Now, what is Open? The contents which I will be covering are basics of OpenCV, about OpenCV, and some things which you can do with OpenCV. And we will seeing a project named Detect and Aware, which is basically a project which the farmers can use, and they will get a notification when birds or animals will enter his farm. So let's begin. What is OpenCV? OpenCV is a Python library which was initially developed by Intel in year 1999, and Intel developed it for its basic high-end GPU task and other tasks related to computer vision. We can make real-time applications with it, like there are many things which we can do with it. Some of its application which I have mentioned are facial recognition system, emotion recognition, motion detection and tracking. AR can also be done with it, and gesture recognition. There are many things which are currently developed, and many of the projects are still under development. Now let us look at the basics of OpenCV, for which we have to go to my editor. I'll be showing you some of the basics. Wait a sec. It's taking a bit long. Now, first thing which we can do with OpenCV is like we can see the different images which we have through the Python program, which we will include the NumPy CV2, which is an OpenCV library. There are basic two versions of OpenCV which are available in market. The one is the version which has less features, which many of us use, which is the simple can be implemented in the program using the pip install command, using pip install OpenCV Python. The second one is the contrib version, which has much more features, which basically companies use in the computer vision task, which can be installed using pip install Python OpenCV Python contrib. Now seeing some more thing which we can do with this, we can blur different images. Basically, we can create some apps, web apps in this, where we can make a editor type application where we can apply different filters to it, blurring to it, cropping to it. So this is another example of it. We can detect corners in an image. This can be basically used to detect the objects in an image, or we can detect the corners of the or corners in the video. I'll be showing you one more example related to it, where I'll be showing you how we can detect uh, people in playing video. This is how we can identify canny images. Like when we have to make a sketch of an image, we can do this with the help of OpenCV. This is we can plot images on using the matplotlib library and the OpenCV. This is how the images will be plotted. This is how rotating can be done in the editor, which we can make using OpenCV. This is how we can draw certain things with the help of the code we have written. You can see the code in this file. Like I have drawn basically a line, rectangle, and some more circle and a blank rectangle also, and text can also be written with the help of OpenCV in a background which I have specified. Here we can draw some of the rectangle or any of the image which we specify in our code with the help of OpenCV. As previously I have shown, I have drawn a filled rectangle. Now I have drawn circles. Here I have drawn consecutive empty rectangles. Here I have made a color detector or like a color application with the help of which we can get the color codes. You can see first we have to turn this on for the colors to work. Next we have to set the pointers for the respective color which we want. So we can do this also by the use of OpenCV. Now seeing what things we can do with images or videos. Now this is the basic video recording which we can record using OpenCV. Now this is the original video without color. Basically, we record the grayscale image, grayscale video using, but we grayscale video and then we have to convert it in the original form. Now this is the example which I was telling you about, where we can detect different people walking in an video which is stored on my computer. We can detect these people. We can make boxes around them, and we can do many different stuff related to this. This is how I have detected the cars which are coming from a highway. It is an example which is taught in many of the OpenCV tutorials, or it is also given in the documentation also, where we can detect the cars which are coming through the highway, or the bike also. It is also detected. Here you can see some of the pedestrians also are detected using this. We can detect this for many, we can detect the cars, and this can be used in many things like speed detection. We can identify the amount of traffic which is on the road. Now seeing the project which I will be telling you is the detect and aware project. I have already told you about what it does. Basically it sends the message to the person, to the farmer, when the birds or animal enter his farm. For that, I have used an Exmo API, which is a Python API we use to send messages. It is basically an API through which we can connect the messaging or the voice messages or simple text messages, image messages, video messages, and our apps through just a simple calling of the function. Here we have used video capture, which will be capturing the video which we have in our here in our folder. We can also use the live video which will be played from the camera if we are using one. Next, we have specified the minimum number of birds which will be entering. This is specified so that the API doesn't send messages in if one or two birds are entering the farm. Next, we have called the loop which will be used to continuously capture the images or capture the video which is playing. This response block which is there, this basically specify the number to which the message is to be sent, the text message which is to be sent, and from whom the message is being sent. the response variable, which will be the variable which will be returned by it, and we will be checking if the message is delivered successfully or not from it. Next, we have shift the frames and converted it to the grayscale, because the identification of the people can be done can be identification of the birds and animals can be done with the help of grayscale images in a better way. For that, we have used color BGR to gray, which is a function which is provided in the OpenCV library. Also, the one thing which I forgot to specify was that we are using the pre-trained data in a .xml format, which is available on GitHub in the OpenCV library, OpenCV repository. We have used that to identify the birds. Similarly, there is the data which is related to cars also. I have also downloaded that. That also works fine for detecting the cars. Next, we have specified the maximum length of the bird, that how many birds will be entering the farm. That will also be shown to us on our terminal. Next, we have a rectangular box which will be drawn around the bird to, so that we can differentiate birds from the original video which is playing, so that we can see that if there are birds or not. To identify that, we have drawn a green rectangle around them. The coordinates are specified here, and the color also. Next, the last thing which is there is the mixing both the frames. Like the one frame is where the rectangles are drawn, and the second frame is the video. Both are merged together, and we have specified a Q key from a keyboard, which when pressed will stop the video and the video capture. Next, we have, as Rohit specified, we need to free all the memory and the stuff, so we have released that. Now I'll show you this. Now you can see that it starts identifying birds in the images. And also, as it starts identifying birds more than the number 5, it directly sends a message to the number which we have specified. As here I haven't specified any number, it doesn't send the message, but if there is a number in the text message, a message is directly sent to the number which we have specified. Also, in the background, you can see the ret is a variable which will be true always when there are birds in the frame. The detected birds are also shown, that how many birds will be there in the frame currently. And by pressing Q key, we can exit the program, or we can exit the screen capture. So I hope everyone has understood this. And if there are any questions, then you can ask. Thank you.
So, does anyone have any questions for Hers? Hers, I had a small question there. What GPU does your computer have right now?
It has the
Was it is
integrated one only.
it's integrated, right? So what how fast was your video running? Is like 15 FPS or 10 FPS or
I guess around 15 to 20 FPS.
15 to 20? So probably with a normal GPU, you can like do in real time, I guess. You can like detect the birds in real time with a standard discrete GPU.
We can detect it in real time also, but for that we have to resize the image which is being captured. For that, there are few functions which needs to be implemented in the code, and we can do that in real time also. But the quality of the output which we will be getting will be like okay. So for that, for having good output, we need extra GPU, or the different one like NVIDIA one, which Rohit has shown.
Okay. Think I have that's the question I have. Does anyone else have any question? It looks like there are none. So thank you
Okay,
very much, Harsh, for your interesting talk on OpenCV.